Nope, that didn't do it. Figures, I can't. Okay, that did it. Now, let's see. Oops. Well, there's nobody here. I'm not going to have this party all by myself. If there ain't nobody here, we ain't going to party. Ouch. I wonder if they can see me. Can you see me? Woo! I bet not. I am covered up in, what? No, I don't even think the volume is on. I'm over here packing. I'm taking a break. Nobody's saying anything. 33 people? That's not right. Can you hear me? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. Howdy do. Hello. Hey, y'all. I can't play volume in a library. I can see you under the lamp. Yeah, I'm under the lamp. Hello. I'll get up in a minute. Look at the back of my hair. It's all white. I look like old. All right. Well, you're not supposed to see me. You don't have to see me. But, all right. I'll let you see me for a minute. So, what you can't see is what it looks like over there. Would you like to see over there? I'm going to show you. You get 2 seconds, but that's it. What a mess. That's all you get. All right. That's what it's like. Because I'm packing orders. So well, let me see. Wait a minute. You look like you're old. You look like you're under an old-fashioned hair dryer. Oh, hello from France. So it's the day. Oh, where am I? It's the day after an auction. So I've done my invoices. Yeah. Now I'm packing. And I have to make the boxes. I have the scissors, the tape, the rulers, all the boxes, everything is all here. It's a hot mess. See, this is what I do. And we're going to have music. Oh, there's always music. So what happens is, should I show you this? You're not going to believe it. All right, you get one quick look. You see that? That's all you get. You don't need to see my dirty house. I can't see your dirty house. No, my house is not dirty. Listen to me having a conversation with myself. My house isn't dirty. It's when you're running a business, you just always have. So I make up the boxes and I start out. The paper comes like this. You know. And you get one of these dumb things. And you put your boxes together. Yeah. Then I take these and crumble them up, right? And stuff. Now, I have a hole over there on the floor, a whole section. Oh, down on this hardwood floor. So I've got my 9x9 by 9s, my 9x9 by 12, 9x9 by 8, 12 by 9 by 9. Right. So then you start to say, I don't know. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, if that's the box, this gets wrapped in paper. This gets wrapped in bubble wrap. In you go. Then I get on my computer, and you got to go in and look up everybody's address again, and then print out all the labels. So I'm going to be working on that, but don't pay any attention to me. I don't want you to pay any attention to me. We're going to play some music. Now, this is monetized, but I ain't making any money off of it because as soon as Caruso starts singing, all of the $2 I would get for this video are going to go to his descendants if he has any, and I guess he does. But I'm not poor-mouthing. I don't always have to do something to make a dollar. But let's play a few Victrola, a few old phonograph records. And I will be able to see your comments. So even when I'm off screen and I'm over there on the floor working, you can't see me. You don't want to see me over there on the floor. I still see what you're saying, so you can make a request. Now, I have thousands of records, but don't be too specific and say, well, can I have the Mary Macs singing Mersey Dotes and Dotes, Dozies Eats Oats? Well, I can't run down in the basement and get that. But you can request generic things like, do you have something, do you have a classical symphony piece? Do you have a foxtrot? How about a Sousa march? You know, do you have something sweet from the 30s? So if you're going to make a request, don't make it for like a specific tune, because I probably have it, but it's just that I only have so many records up here, and the rest of them are down in the basement. So let me see what you're saying, and we'll get the part. I'll tell you what, let's get the party started this way. Do you want us to start with something classical or a foxtrot Now go ahead and vote. I'm going to sit down right here. That you can see. Here I am. That's all you need. Wait a minute. There we go. See? Hello. Do you want a foxtrot? Do you have any oldies from the 60s? No. All right. Pete says the 30s. I think Snake. What? Who takes care? Which takes less care, a palm or a snake? Oh, a snake takes less care. Yeah. All right, so we have the 30s. We've got a foxtrot. The 20s. Looks like the 20s and the looks like you don't want anything classical just yet. How is the bromeliad? Oh, the bromeliad didn't make it, Janet. We had services for that thing a couple of weeks ago. Sorry. I thought I could put him out, and I put him out, and the frost got him. Poor thing. So we have 3 votes. We have 54 people watching, and 2 people want something from the 20s, and somebody wants something from 1930. All right, Lydia, we're going to have to wait on the 40s. We're going to stick to the 20s and the 30s. I'll tell you what, we'll compromise. I was feeling a little Enrico Caruso, but apparently you ain't. So we're going to put Caruso over here. And now this ought to bring, all right, for those of you who are young, this is the way records used to come in an album. This is called an album, right? And you say, no, it's not. An album has 1 big 33 1/3 in it. There was a lot that happened before the 33 1/3 era. So back in the 78 era, you could, these albums, yeah, when you bought a phonograph, you were often given these empty for free, right? And they would be in here. They can go this way, horizontal, and in some cabinets, they'll go vertical, depending on the maker of the cabinet. And a lot of companies didn't make their own cabinets. They didn't have wood shops. They'd get furniture companies to do it. But you'd get these albums like this, right? Now, word for the cautious. When you're out in a thrift store and you see something like this, they're going to be 78 RPMs. They're supposed to be. When you open it up, don't go flipping through the thing like a bat out of hell. you will break these records while you're flipping them. And I'm going to show you why. What happens is, trust me, I've been doing this since I was about 13 years of age. These old 78s, that's not a good example. I'll pull that one out. Well, actually, oh, that's the Marche Militaire by Schubert. All right. So what'll happen is, for instance, here is a typical, that's a Victor scroll, what's called a Victor scroll. This is a shellac record, and it was made around 1928. So it was made after 1925. Into the 1925 into the early 30s. I'd have to look at the matrix number, and I don't feel like it. Nat Shilkret, he was the musical director for Victor for a long time. And yes, I'm touching it, and it didn't hurt it. I know people are saying, white gloves, white gloves. Nah, it's fine. No, they're not vinyl. They're made of shellac. If I took this right now and bashed it over my head, wouldn't hurt me a bit. No surprise there. This would shatter into 500 pieces. Now, I don't condone doing that, but that's what happened. Now, what happens is you'll put this in the sleeve, and then people start flipping them. Well, if the record, watch. Did you see me slide it to the, I don't know if it's right or left to you, but all you have to do is there's a little bit of give within that sleeve. If this record slides over towards the spine and you flip it, you'll break it right here. It will snap right off. Seen it happen 10,000 times. So be careful when you flip through these old albums. You can break the records just by looking at them. So that's what I want you to know. All right. Now, before we play, everybody's already voted first to start off on something from the 20s and the 30s, and that's what we'll do. I'm not getting any work done. Mrs. Bloom's top 10. Karen Williams, hush your mouth. Yes, I was la 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 la. La 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 la. They shatter. You can say that again. Hello, Washington State. All right, all right, all right. I'll put one on. We're going to begin with a tune called the Barcelona Foxtrot. Now, be careful. You're probably not going to hear. Oh, wait a minute. No. If you're a lover of jazz, get ready to do this. Ugh. You ain't going to hear much jazz on this. Now, this is Nat Shilkret, who was the musical director for Victor Talking Machine Company for many years. And he would lead what would be called the staff orchestras. He was on staff. And he would choose, music for the catalog. And there would be staff musicians. Now, this is most of all of this is recorded in Camden, New Jersey. I live in Camden County, New Jersey. If I go up on the roof and I look towards Philly, if I look towards Camden, I can see the old Nipper. I can see the old factory, the old RCA Victor factory. It was Victor when it was built. The Terrier, his master's voice, the big stained glass windows. There are replicas up there. They took the 4 originals out, but the replicas are there. And it sits right as you go over the Ben Franklin Bridge into Philadelphia, the big old Camden. Some of the big old factory buildings are there. That one is there. So this was recorded within 2 miles from where I'm sitting. And this is the Victor Orchestra, which are just musicians with Victor. Now, they were good orchestra. They were good musicians, and some of them could play jazz. When they turned them loose, they could let it go. Now, these are white musicians. Nat Shilkret was Caucasian, and the folks in this orchestra were. But when they would turn them loose, they could play some jazz. They weren't as good as the black musicians of the day. They just, not all of them, most of them weren't. But anyway, the vocalist on here is Billy Murray. By the time this was recorded, Billy Murray was over the hill. He was 1905, 1915, 1920s. But by the time we get into the late 20s, his career is over. So you only get to hear a little bit of him singing. And this is the Barcelona Foxtrot. This is the kind of record that respectable folk who didn't like that vulgar jazz, they would put this on their phonographs, and this was okay. This wasn't that vulgar jazz, right? So it's cleaned up jazz for the tuffy-nosed market who wasn't ready for Bessie Smith or Erskine Tate and his Vendome Orchestra. So get ready to dance. I think you'll like it. And you'll be listening to it. Sorry for the posterior view. You shall be listening to it on my 1917, 1918 mahogany Silvertone phonograph. So we go back to the late 20s in Camden, New Jersey. Nat Shilkret and his orchestra. This is Barcelona. Let's cut the rug. You ready? Ah. All right, I warned you. I warned you. A little square. My old record collecting friends would say that record was so square, you could cut yourself on the corners. Now, before we go to the next record, let's talk about that one. What did you think? What did it remind you of? No, they're not. Well, they're made of shellac. Yeah. Why am I seeing old Mickey Mouse? That's it. Yeah, you should think of old. Yeah. Now, people would dance to that. Yep. And that was Billy Murray on the vocal refrain. He only comes in, you know, at that last, oh, I married the girl from Barcelona. Yeah, so that record would be a little corny, but Barcelona was a big hit. So thumbs up or thumbs down on Barcelona? While you're debating that, we're really going to shift gears here. And the next one that we play, now I've got to change the needle. Some of you say, what? You only played one record. That's right. You change the needle every record. One needle. Scott's torso just reminded me. What? Sculpery? Echo, so. Okay, you weren't so thrilled with Barcelona. Okay. Well, you'd be thrilled with this one. You have to change the needles every... All right, here they are. Here are the needles. You see that? They're steel needles. They can be cactus. They can be fiber. That's a fiber needle right there. There's loud tone, medium tone. Let's get a medium tone. I'm going to pull out a medium tone needle. Okay, well, wait a minute. Yeah, this one will work. Okay, here's a medium tone needle. All right, I'm going to put that in. So you change the needle after every, well, you could play 2 records. I'll play 2. I'll play 2. You'll ruin your records. Trust me. You know what I'm talking about. You'll ruin them. With this era and this type of machine, you don't want... You have to change the needles. All right. Now, what did you say? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I still, because I'm on StreamYard, everything is backwards. We're going to really change the gears here. And you old church folk are going to remember this. God will take care of you. It's a hymn that most Protestant churches in America sing. I don't know about Europe, but if you're an old church person and you sing out of the old hymnals, you'll know this. This is Marian Talley, soprano with orchestra, and this is a red label. Now the red label costs more money. And these were status symbols to have these red label records. Now you'll notice the one we just played, it's the same label. It's called Victor Scroll, and it's called Scroll because of the decoration around the outside. Collectors call this the scroll. And right up in top, you'll see VE. Again, this is probably backwards because StreamYard. No, this wouldn't be backwards. I'm not on Stream. I'm on StreamYard, so you should be able to see it. YouTube is backwards. The VE stands for Victor Electric. And that's also what the word orthophonic stands for. This is after 1925 because the microphone hadn't been invented yet. The carbon, the pickup, the electric microphone, Westinghouse, they hadn't come up with that yet. They came up with it they started putting them out in 1925 with the old Batwing label. And I'll show you one of those at some point. But the new label with the scroll and the VE for Victor Electric meant you were getting an electrical recording. And a lot of folks will say the difference is knowing someone's voice from over a telephone and then actually knowing their voice in person. Up close, richer, more dynamics, a better sound. So that was an electric recording, but the label is black. That red label means it was more expensive, and you're also getting something that's leaning towards what they would call serious music, you know, how they would say legitimate theater. So this will be an operatic type of a soprano, and she's going to sing for us, God Will Take Care of You. And I have sung this 29 million times out of the Methodist hymnal. Shall we all turn to page 298 in our Methodist hymnals and all rise on the last chorus, and we shall sing. Let me get the right speed here. Hope you like it. I told you knew it. Ah, she rolled her R's. I love it. I knew you knew this. Did you like my interpretive dance? I'll stop. You all may be seated. And if there are no announcements, we shall now continue with the offertory. Anyway, I put in the comments, how many of you remember standing next to grandparents in the old family church singing that? All 29 verses played excruciatingly slow on some old pump organ. Anyway, it's a lovely old hymn, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let's bring it up a little bit here, but before we do, let's see here. So you remember that? Well, I'm glad you do. All right, let's put this back in. I don't think you're ready for this one. No, you ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for that one. Okay, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. See? No, I didn't break anything. That was the actual paper. All right. Oh, gosh. I don't know if we're ready for this either. Drink to me only with thine eyes. Drink to me only with thine eyes. No. The other side isn't any better. Believe me, for those young, dearing, young charms. Nah, it's a little too... Come on now. Joy to the world. Christmas is over. All right, I'm not finding what I want. I do know what I want, though. Ah, this is what I want. All right. Chicory chick. All right, here we go. This is what you want. This is one that you want. I'm not even going to tell you what the name of it is. Nope. I'm going to see if anybody knows. We're going to play name. Oh, golly, my reproducer. I need to do some work on this machine. Now I'm going to be singing, drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will but drink to thee. Wait a minute, let me sit down. How'd you like my singing? Is anybody watching? I just lost 5 subscribers. Thank you for the music. You're welcome. The only... Your grandparents were Methodists? Well, I think the Baptists probably sang that hymn as well. Yes, I remember that for sure. Grandma played the piano in church. Mwah. How many of us sat in church on a beautiful Sunday morning itching just to get outside and play? It was great. Okay. Is she listening? Is your 94? Now, Cindy, you Baptists sang that as well. Come on now. My stepfather is Baptist. I bet you did. You didn't sing God Will Take Care of You? Maybe you didn't. Now, Felicia, is your 94-year-old mother, is she listening? Is she watching now and listening? What's her name? We're going to dedicate one to her. Felicia? What? Felicia Maxwell. Can you see me? Oh, she is. All right. Now, your mother is 94. So she was born in the 30s. Let me give your mother something I think she might remember from the 40s. Because by the 40s, she would be a grown-up girl, right? In the 1940s? Yeah. I'm going to give your mother... Oh, her name is June. Okay, June. You're 94. And I'm about to give you a tune from the 1940s. Okay? Now, before I do, I have to talk to you, though. You know, we can't just... All right. What did that... Oh, okay. All right. This is for June, Felicia's mother, who's watching. She's 94. Now, we're going to move on to a Columbia record, and I'm not going to show you the title. All right. This record was not meant to be played on that kind of a machine. That is an orthophonic, non-electric, all-acoustic machine. Yes, you can play 1940s records on it, but this was recorded electrically and was really meant to be played on a 1940s era player with vacuum tubes and a modern stylus and whatnot. So we can play it. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? You're just not going to hear all the fidelity from this played on that machine. We'll go no farther than that. I will tell you this. I'm not going to tell you who the orchestra leader is. This was a big hit in the 1940s. And I'll tell you this, there's one word in the title which names an item that very well may be in your crisping drawer in your refrigerator right now. Ooh, what on earth is that man talking about? What could be in that title that I could possibly have in my crisping drawer in my refrigerator right now? I think he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes, I do. Midnight. Celery. Celery stalks at midnight. That was Will Bradley and his orchestra. The tune was called Celery Stalks at Midnight, and it featured the great trombone playing of what was his name? Bradley. Ray Bradley was the trombone player. So Celery Stalks at Midnight. Felicia, did your mother know that? Ugh, down here on this floor. And this was in the 40s, so she might remember. She might have danced to it. That was for 94-year-old mother of Felicia, who's listening from somewhere, and nobody's saying anything. Well, I'm not getting much action here. Maybe you can't hear me. Oh, you're in San Jose. Well, it's a play on word. Celery stalks at midnight. You know, imagine a piece of celery stalking around at midnight. There were a lot of funny tunes in the 40s. You've got to go back to the 40s you know, they had goofy songs in the 40s. They were called Hokum songs. Celery Stalks at Midnight. Your mother was born in 1932. So this came out in the 40s. She was in high school. Oh, that was your mother, Pete. So Felicia, did your mother recognize it? It's okay if she didn't. I mean, I'm not bothered by it, but all right. Oh, she didn't recognize that one? Okay, well, she might recognize. Oh boy, we're gonna get. All right, pull your pants up, or tuck your shirt in, comb your hair. We're going uptown. We're going up to the Metropolitan Opera now, and you're going to hear from the greatest tenor of that era, the inimitable Enrico Caruso. And he is going to sing for us. This is the Italian opera star Caruso, who was in San Francisco during the earthquake. He was there. Scared him to death. I don't know if he ever went back to San Francisco after that. Caruso died, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's up here in this washing machine. I believe Enrico Caruso died in 1921. This is later in his life. So he's not a young man. He's already had a full career with the Metropolitan Opera, and of course, Victor got him and paid him globs of money to record exclusively for Victor. So we're going to hear Caruso sing from Pagliacci, and you know what it is. Invest in a tuba. No. Vesti la Guba. I'm sorry. Also known as Invest in a Tuba. And you're saying, I've never heard of that. You've heard of it. I give you the great Enrico Caruso. No electronic amplification here, all acoustic. So when the lights go out, the party is happening right here. Oh, yeah. All right. Very dramatic. I told you you knew it. Oh, you got to hear this. I'm not getting any work done. None. All right. Now. All right, I told you you knew it. The great Enrico Caruso. And this is a nice big 12-inch record. Let me see if you're asking me anything. You probably aren't. Yeah, I know everybody wants. Do you know how to get a hernia from singing too robustly? No, I haven't ever had that problem, but I'm not a terribly robust singer. Gosh. Well, all right. Well, we'll have one or two more. All right, that was Pagliacci. I've got to put all these back. All right, let's do a little. All right, we're going to do a comparison. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to listen to two records. All right. Back to back. The first one is serious jazz. The musicians on this were the best of that era. Now, what you're about to hear was recorded in May of 1926. So this record, 100 years old, this May. This May, this record will be 100 years old. And this was recorded by, when I tell you, you'll say, well, I never heard of that. Erskine Tate and his Vendome Orchestra. Well, who is that? Well, you ought to look it up. But in the orchestra with him is a relatively outside of New Orleans, unknown, very young Louis Armstrong. Wait till you hear the trumpet solo on this. It's called Static Strut. And it gets its name from early radio, when all you could get was static. And people complained about radio. It was a big problem. And so the Tin Pan Alley composers got busy, and they, this is the first time the word static, other than static cling, had ever been known over the radio waves. So Static Strut, recorded in May 1926, Erskine Tate and his Vendome Orchestra with a young Louis Armstrong, and you will hear him rip off on his trumpet. The song after that is by a completely different orchestra, and you'll just have to wait for that, but I think you'll enjoy it. I wouldn't play it for you unless I thought you would enjoy it. But then again, I've just lost 12 subscribers. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm just playing. A couple more records and that's it. I'm going to the pub. I've already packed most of these, honestly, but after this, I'm going to the post office. And then I have to get that train set ready for sale. Oh, by the way, if you hear, and I think we could hear it a little bit during God Will Take Care of You. You heard a little thump, thump, thump. That's the grease in the springs. You see, this is a 3-spring motor, and it's cold in this house. And the grease tends to thicken up, a body in motion stays in motion. I haven't played this machine in a couple of weeks, so the grease gets all glumped up and glooped up, and the spring gets globbed up as it's unwinding. And the force, that spring will then, it'll undo itself in the can, but all that thick grease that's the noise you hear. Static Strut, Erskine Tate and his Vendome Orchestra, recorded in May of 1926. Listen to a young Louis Armstrong. You'll love it. right. That's Erskine Tate, not Louis. With the mute. I'll tell you when Louis comes in. That's Louis Armstrong. So the first trumpet solo, I think, was Erskine with the mute, but you heard Louis. My gosh. 1926, the static strut. Woo! All right, now we're going to really change speeds here. And no, I'm not selling my father's train set. Somebody asked. It's another train set that didn't belong to anybody in my family that I'm going to sell. I'd never sell my father's train set. Now we're going to go to Benny Goodman and his orchestra. But hold on now. I shouldn't have told you that. Because if I played this and didn't tell you who it was, you would have never said Benny Goodman. So let me back up. This record was recorded in 1928. Now, Benny Goodman didn't have an orchestra. Not really. He didn't have his swing orchestra until the 30s when he got on the radio and was doing the Camel Caravan and all that mess. But he was in Chicago and he played in the Chicago, what they call the Chicago style. Now they're calling it Benny Goodman actually and his boys. Listen to who's on this. I got to get into the... I can't read this. I know it's Benny Goodman clarinet. Oh my gosh. Well, Jimmy McPartland on cornet, Glenn Miller. I'm not a huge Glenn Miller fan. On trombone, Fudd Livingston. This is so hard to read. It's so small. I think it's Vic Brandeis on piano, Dick Morgan on guitar, Harry Goodman on tuba, and Ben Pollock on drums. Now, that was Benny's brother. But Ben Pollock would go on to have a successful orchestra. So Ben would have a successful orchestra, Ben Pollock, Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, of course. But on this record, they are goofing off. This is what's called a Hokum record. Now, these men could play jazz and they could play swing. But what would often happen, the musicians would get to the recording studio in the mornings, 10 a.m., whatever. And they'd warm up, you know, they were probably out in some club the night before till 2 a.m. But they'd get into these recording studios and there might be 4 sides. that they have to cut that day. Well, the recording engineer could make up any name that they wanted. They did anything that they wanted. Okay, we'll call you Benny Goodman and his boys. Start warming up, boys. We'll get the grease warmed up. We'll get the machines ready. We'll get the master out on the turntable, and we'll wait for the train to go by, and then we'll start recording. But go ahead and warm up. So the boys all start warming up, and they're goofing off on this. But they made a record out of it, and they called it Shirt Tail Stomp. They're making fun of those square, really non-jazzy records like Barcelona that we heard earlier. They're kind of going, too bad Nat Shilkret can't play music like we can, the jazz. So this is going to sound hokum, slocum, corny on purpose. Because you know that Ben Pollack and Gled Miller and Livingston and Ray and those guys could play jazz, they could improvise, and they were great swing musicians. So you have to hear all of that background when you listen to it. Otherwise, you'll think, oh, golly, that's a really good record. And you know what? The general public thought, oh, that's a good record. And it sold like crazy. Benny Goodman laughed all the way to the bank. The Shirt Tail Stomp. Take it with a grain of salt, because it is meant to be humorous. You can dance if you want. Anybody house cleaning? I'm not getting my work done. I guess I better stop saying that. I could always turn this thing off. Here goes. This record is so corny. Oh. They're goofing off. Listen to this trombone. It's terrible. they had a good laugh, and they did not expect that to sell. It sold. The American public danced in their parlors to that and thought, oh, we're listening to jazz. Little did they know they had the wool pulled over their eyes on that one. And it is kind of fun to listen to, but it's not what those guys were capable of. All right. It's fun to listen to, though. Let's really change gears. We're going to do 3 more records, and I'm out of here, and I mean it. 3 more records, and that's it. Now, I have to ask you, though, are you having fun? Do you like this? Seriously, and I'm not offended if you don't. If you like it, maybe we can do this once a month. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. But maybe we'll pick a Sunday afternoon or something like that and have a 78 party. We could do that, but I can't monetize this because this music is copyrighted. And that's okay. I guess I shouldn't have even said that. I want to do it anyway. If you like it, all right? If you like it and you want to watch and listen, we could do that. And you could even maybe put some requests in ahead of time and we could come up with a schedule. I don't know, just a thought. Maybe you don't like it. Next. I'm going to get classical on you. Let me see. Let me test you, music appreciation class. Let me see. You would like to do it? All right. Well, if you want to do it, we'll do it. Now, if I mention to you, Camille Saint-Saëns, Yo-Yo Ma. Wait, what's that? Cello solo. I know what's going to come to you. This better come to your mind. Somebody put it in. What comes to your mind? Camille Saint-Saëns, Yo-Yo Ma. Doesn't have to be Yo-Yo Ma, but we'll just pull him out because I can't think of another famous cello player. What tune? Now let me look on my little thing. Let me look on my... I'm looking for the name of a song. What do you think I'm going to play for you? And trust me, you know it. Now you say, I don't know it. Well, yes, you do. You know it. Camille Saint-Saëns, cello solo. I'm looking at my computer and none of you have come up with it. Now listen here, music appreciation class. Did you read your assigned, no, not Bach. I didn't say anything about no Bach. Yeah, I like Bach too. We'll play some when I come back. But right now we're going to do Camille Saint-Saëns, or for the pronunciation folks, Saint-Saëns, whatever. No, not Dance Macabre. Okay, there's a good one. What if I told you it's from the Carnival of the Animals? Now, I know one of you are going to get this. Carnival of the Animals. Yo-Yo Ma played what? Yo-Yo Ma played a lot. You sure did. And your daughter plays? Oh, the cello suite. Okay, Michael Crucci. You got it. Curci. I keep saying, because I keep wanting to call you, it's Curci, like Amelita Galli Curci. The Swan. Okay, get ready. Get your Kleenex. Calm down. Calm down. We're now going to listen to the Swan. I don't know how you can get through. I can't get through the Swan. It's very hard to get through the Swan, but we're going to do it. Bring it down. It's time for my NPR voice. I got you. I didn't read that. That's my mistake. The Bach cello suite. I hear you. But we're going to actually listen to William Wilkie play on a beautiful old Brunswick, the Swan. Mm-hmm. See? Look at what nice condition that's in. Now, I should be playing it with a fiber needle, but I'm actually going to use one of my steel needles because I want you to get the volume. The fiber needle, you won't get as much volume, but then you don't get as much surface noise. And it's a little friendlier on the record, but I want to make sure you can hear the Swan. You know it. You've heard it a million times. Oops. I told you you knew that. Now that's going to go on doing that because this particular machine does not have an automatic brake. But the runoff groove takes the needle across. It does no damage to the record itself. And we're finished with that needle. So that was the Swan. And I knew you guys would know that. And I was going to play My Heart at Thy Sweet Voice from Samson and Delilah, which is also Saint-Saëns. But I don't have my Schumann Heike recording up here. It's down in the basement, and that's the recording. Oh, well, I guess I'll give you this one. I prefer the Schumann Heike, Madame Schumann Heike. But this is, we'll play from Samson and Delilah, Act 2. I'm sorry, My Heart, I don't speak French, so I can't, Mon quoi something. I don't do the French. But it's My Heart at Thy Sweet Voice. So she's singing to Samson, 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 and you'll hear that. But this is not the Schumann Heike. This isn't the Madame Schumann Heike I want. She sings it in German. Now it's written in French, and here we hear it sung in French. And a lot of you know it in French. I love hearing Schumann Heink sing it in German, but so same composer as the Swan. Yeah, Camille Saint-Saëns. And here, from Samson and Delilah, My Heart at Thy Sweet Voice. Contralto Margarita Metzenauer, who's wonderful, but she ain't no Schumann Heink anyway. And then we'll have an up tune, and then that's it. What is this? Somebody asked me how to clean these. I'll tell you. Best way to clean them is brilliant. A sponge and warm soapy water. Now don't submerge your records. Hold one in your hand like this. Get a sponge with hot soapy water and do this. Dry it with a towel, do it again. Warm soapy water. I've been in the 78 business since I was a teenager. And it's the best way to clean them. The other thing that'll clean them is to play them, because the needle will get some of the dirt out. All right, My Sweet Voice. This is a long one. It's a 12-inch. So we'll get, what, 3 minutes out of it, maybe? 3 or 4? Well, 3.5 minutes out of it. Favorite of mine. Oh, I could listen to that every day. I hope you liked it. So, My Heart at Thy Sweet Voice from the opera Samson and Delilah by Camille Saint-Saëns, who also was the composer of the Swan that we just listened to. Oops. That we just listened to. Beautiful mezzo-soprano, as was Schumann Heink. I'll tell you what, if you want to hear Schumann Heink sing it in German, just go to my page and Google it. Find it. I've got it. I recorded it, and I did a whole thing about Schumann Heink. You really should know who she was. She was an incredible person, a wonderful person who really sacrificed a lot. Austrian, German-speaking Austrian, came to America. She had boys who fought on the German side and boys who fought on the American side. But she was for America, and she did a lot of fundraising for the troops during the First War. And she really was a remarkable person. Didn't have much musical training, but boy, that gal could sing. And I did a little blurb about her. And I'd love it if you'd go dig it up and watch it, because I wish more people knew who she was. But it's not everybody's thing, I know. Who's this? Giuseppe who? No, I'm not in the mood for Verdi. I said we were going to do one more, and that's it. Isn't that what I said? I don't know what you want. Agnus Dei? No. I'm not at my computer, so I can't see. Oh, have you got your G string on? We can have the air for the G string. You can dance around in your G string and listen to the air. You'd get a lot of air, wouldn't you? You'd get a lot of air. Sonata? No. I'm just trying to find the right one. I wish I had my... Oh, there's John McCormick. Lieutenant Francis Sutherland. Here's Nick Lucas, who played the, what do you call it? The ukulele. My Wife is on a Diet by Eddie Cantor. Eddie Cantor's tips on the stock market. Oh, okay. All right. All right, we'll finish out with this one. You'll know this one. Well, it's kind of a downer, though. I don't know, maybe we won't finish out with this one. You know what? I'm going to let you vote. So give me a minute to get up off this floor. And if I'm still... And that's it. All right, no. Now, what did I do? Okay, here we go. All right, which one do you want? This is it. Until we meet again, class. Until class convenes for music appreciation, this is it. You can have... all right, you're going to vote. Jan Garber and his orchestra, Babyface, or Gene Austin singing My Blue Heaven. Pick one. And I will wait and see what you tell me. Babyface by Jan Garber and his orchestra. Oh, Gid Tanner and the Skillet Lickers. Those are some valuable 78s if you've got them. Yep. If you've got them. Nobody voted. Okay. Blue Heaven, Blue Heaven, Blue Heaven. 3 people said Blue Heaven. All right, that's it. I'm sorry, Babyface. You're going to have to wait. Gene Austin. Victor Electric. Just Molly and me, and the baby makes 3. This has a famous cello solo in it. Da-dee-dee-dee-dee. You know what, folks? Also, you might not realize this. You might not. But I'm going to tell you. This is the definitive recording of this, and you'll know it as soon as you hear it. But you know what? He wasn't the first one to record it, and he wasn't the only one. This is the one that sold over 1 million. It had been recorded prior to Gene Austin, and it had been recorded as an uptune, as a foxtrot. It did okay. I don't know whose idea it was. It might have been Nat Shilkert's idea at Victor. to slow it down, because Gene Austin had that crooning type of a voice that was suited for the electric microphone. He was intimate. Before really anybody had heard of Bing Crosby. They slow it down. They make it a little more romantic. They give the cello solo, and it sold millions. The other recordings of it were not so successful. But this version is the one that you know. My Blue Heaven by Gene, the great Gene Austin, who recorded so many records for Victor. Told you you'd know it.
What makes the world go round? Nothing but love. When whippoorwill calls and evening is nigh, I hurry to my blue heaven. I turn to the right, a little bright light will lead you to my blue heaven. A smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room, a little nest that's nestled where the roses bloom. Just Molly and me, and baby makes three. We're happy in my blue heaven. Baby, make three. We're happy in my blue heaven. Baby, make three. We hurry to my blue heaven.
Thank you, everyone.